Well, welcome back. It's the Gratuor Life Show, episode 381. It's May 27th, 2021, in the year of our Lord, and we're here on the Gratuor Life Show. Hey, it's a amazing Thursday haul video, and just thought I'd do a quick video. Or not so quick video, let's see. Well, the sun finally came out yesterday. Of course, our air conditioning wasn't working, so, for several days. So we got the air conditioning guy out last night. He came about 8:30 last night and fixed it in about 1 minute. Apparently ants had gotten in to the electric, whatever was feeding electricity into the unit outside, and I guess they fried themselves. They must have gotten in there during the winter, he's thinking. So it was a very quick fix, and then we got cool air, so that's great. And the sun's out today, so I went out and mowed the lawn. I got the front yard and both side yards done, and then the lawnmower is not currently working. It's supposed to be self-propelled, but the belt broke. And I went to get a new belt, and they we don't know what that is. And so anyway, so I'm moving. I'm pushing the lawnmower like remember in the Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian movie when he's a teenager and they have him going around in a circle for no reason, just I guess to torture him for 10 years. It was like that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then that guy that likes to walk down the street drunk with a rag on his head shouting, "I'm the neighborhood drug dealer. I can fuck so good. I'll take on all of you." I saw him last night. My wife called the police. I tried calling the police a few weeks ago. They said it'll be half an hour before we can get out. But I don't know, they said this time they'd have someone within a couple of minutes. He's always walking, getting, I guess, beer at the local convenience store, and he's a charming member of the neighborhood, I must say. When you're just standing in your yard and you hear the most obscene language, the F word, all the other words that start with all the other letters, just someone coming behind you shouting, and it might just be lyrics to some currently popular song but it seems a little threatening. Horrible. So, I mowed the lawn. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. So, before you start watching today's video, you need to do something. Before you get too comfortable, look up on YouTube, Graphic Man, Graphic, not to be condescending, I know you know how to spell Graphic Man. And to make sure you're getting the right Graphic Man, maybe you type in Graphic Man comic books, and you'll find him. He has a very professional, very funny, very cool, amazing YouTube channel. I think he has 59-60 subscribers. He should have 3-4 times what I have. It's ridiculous. You need to get on and subscribe to him, because he's figured out how to do the live streaming, because he's technological, unlike me. I can barely figure out how to work this phone that I'm recording with. So he's figured out a way to do that. And then on Monday we're going to do a live stream together, and and we might do one later this afternoon as a test run. So if you subscribe to Graphic Man and ring his bell, his alarm bell, then it should give you notice if we do a live stream later today. And if we don't, definitely Monday. And people, Eric Breen, Night Tiger, have all been trying to get me to do this, and I think it's cool. I want to interview people. Oh, and Graphic Man. Oh, another way you could find Graphic Man is, he said as soon as I put this video up, he'll comment down below, and then you just click on his name and it'll take you to his page. And then Graphic Man, on one of my last videos, Tom Smith, Graphic Man, myself, some other people were talking down below the video, and then Graphic Man gave his email, and I thought he meant it for me, and I thought, why is he giving me his email? I already have his email. But no, he meant it for you, Tom Smith, to click on his email so that he could help you figure out, because we want to get you on and interview you, and then you can show your cool humor magazine collection, because Tom Smith is this Canadian gentleman that has a collection of every humor magazine comic book ever, which is an amazing accomplishment, and he's a music expert. So he has all these YouTube channels that are devoted to different eras of music. They're really incredible. So so Tom Smith, get in touch with the Graphic Man through his email. He put the email link. He'll probably put it again under this video anyway. We'll get it all working out. Then we'll work it all out, and then we can get. And then I'll figure out StreamYard too. I don't think I can do it on this phone, so I got to break out my laptop and then maybe download that. Figure it out. My wife will help me if I can't. I don't know. I figured out a lot worse stuff, but I'm just having fun pretending it's 1975 and none of this stuff has been invented. I need to straighten this computer. It's a little crooked. Okay, I think that's a little better. That's not quite straight enough. No, all right, this is about right. Okay, so let me put on my reading glasses and we'll look at our latest comic book haul. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm going to take these out of their bags. Because I want to look at them with you. So let's create a system. A system indeed. Okay. Oh, I gotta watch Psycho Beach Party. I have that here. I gotta watch that. Okay, so I got a Whitman variant of UFO and outer space. Now, in a few weeks, the government's supposed to release a bunch of files about UFOs. It's supposed to be early June. I think it's to distract us from everything going on right now. By the way, not a conspiracy theory. Forgive me if you're a fan of big pharmaceutical companies, or maybe if you work for one. I don't know if the Gray Man watches my videos often, but Gray Man in England, one time you were playing like a video game. I was watching you play it on live stream, and I said, well, I don't have a new video. I have an Atari 2600. That's an Atari 2600. It was like the first big selling video game console. I have that, and I have a Super Nintendo, the original one, and I have the original Sony. No, what do I have? I have a Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's right there. It's not a Sony PlayStation. I never got that. It's a fucking Xbox, the original Xbox. Those are the video game systems I have. Oh, and then I also have this Pac-Man here that I'm using to prop up my camera. So anyway, I don't know. It's not cute. All right, that's straight. Okay, so, pharmaceutical companies, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Regardless of what you think of Donald Trump, he brought them to heel and created a situation where they had been charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars for people to have, what do you fucking call it? Ritalin? Not Ritalin. What is it? Fucking stuff. God damn, the stuff for people that have diabetes. I can't remember L. Ron Hubbard's name in the last episode. Now I can't even think of that fucking thing, that insulin. It's like I'm from another. Well, I am from another planet, but I should know the language a little bit better. But anyway, don't blame me because I voted. But anyway, so President Trump got it, where people now pay like $1 for insulin instead of hundreds of dollars. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I don't think so. I think it was something extreme. Well, big pharma companies did not like Trump, so they wanted to embarrass him. Just like Hollywood hated Trump. Why did they hate Trump? Because their biggest market is China, and Trump was bringing China to heel. Of course, they brought us to heel, but we won't get into that. But anyway, they had a vaccine ready, but they didn't want to let anyone know they had it, right? Until the Monday after the election happened. Then they announced, hey, we have it. Because they were afraid that that would sway the election towards Trump. You remember that. If you've forgotten it, I don't know how you've forgotten that quickly. Well, okay, so then the price of insulin shot back up. Well, my wife got some bad news that an old friend of hers that had stayed with us for maybe a month, a few years back, that he passed away in another state, and I'm sure there were other contributing factors, but from what I hear, he couldn't afford the insulin. So that's the first casualty that I've heard of that from all this. And damn, this guy was a legend in California and Los Angeles. He was like someone that he was like Bluto and Popeye. I mean, he could probably take on Wolverine and Popeye and the Avengers. He was like this superhuman guy, and so to see, that something brought him down is a shame. So anyway, just keeping him in my prayers and everything. But anyway, some of you know him. But anyway, it's really a damn shame. The little camera angle was was funny at first because it looked like a Batman camera angle, but now I'm starting to hurt my neck, and after that adventure mowing the lawn, man, it fucking my neck. I don't want my neck hurting. So let me get this camera straight. Some jokes only go so far. I noticed I got a lot less views on that last episode, mainly because it was completely identical to the episode the day before. But at least you guys get a sense of the Groundhog Day nature of my life. Each day is a clone of the last. Okay, so here's UFO in outer space. Great painted cover. Anyway, the government's supposed to be declassifying a bunch of UFO stuff. It's probably actually the government doing it, but are they going to admit they're space aliens? I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? It's something I've been reading about since I was in second grade. You know, and remember there was the X-Files, and if you go back far enough, there was a TV show called Project Blue Book, right? It was called Project UFO. That was the one that Jack Webb did. He had Dragnet about the police officers that wore plain clothes, and then he had Adam 12 about police officers that were in squad cars. They were all supposed to be true stories, right? The story you have just seen is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent, remember? And then he did Emergency. I don't know if those were supposed to be true stories. I kind of doubt it. And then he even had his ex-wife Julie London play the nurse in Emergency. Silver Age Dave was talking about Emergency this morning on his live stream, which was great. You need to watch that live stream. He was showing all kinds of amazing Bronze Age comics. And then he did Project UFO, and I'm sure there's some others I've left out, but Project UFO is supposed to be true stories about the government researching the UFOs back in the 50s or 60s. So, let's look at some more books. I'm disassembling them because I want to put new bags on, but I want to save these bags. Okay, I'll put the bags. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. That's why I'm wearing the Grinch shirt. That's why I never let Christmas end here. Something quite horrible happened several days ago. That's not, but it's a happy ending. But my dog Drusilla jumped up on the couch, and in her mouth was a freaky magnet. And you wonder, what is a freaky magnet, Dr. Orloff? Well, let me tell you what a freaky magnet is. First of all, you guys know what they are because everyone that watches this channel is like in their 50s. There's like one or two people in their 30s. Nobody watches it in their 40s. I see the YouTube stats on YouTube Studio. There's like one or two guys in their late 60s, maybe 70s. But most of you guys are right about my age in their 50s, 60s. So you should know what a freaky magnet is. There was a cereal in the 70s called Freakies, with little bizarre freaks, creatures that lived in a freaky tree where the cereal grew out of that tree, right? The freaky tree. There were amazing animated commercials that inundated children's television. They were constant. They were ever present. They never ended, the Freakies commercials. Just like several years before, every station break had an Action Jackson commercial, which was the original Mego figure, right? You know, Action Jackson is his name. Bold adventure is his game. Think of what you want to be and call on me, Action Jackson. And Action Jackson was a 8-inch figure, and then they later used that same body and create Marvel and DC superheroes, Planet of the Apes and Star Trek. But Action Jackson was lame. A lame attempt to emulate G.I. Joe, a little smaller. His face looked like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. It just was not a cool figure, but his some of his, you could make him a fireman or, you know, any kind of stupid adventure kind of guy. And his little treehouse later became the Planet of the Apes treehouse, and then it also became a treehouse for Dawn or Dusty, some kind of figure for girls. See, it's Christmas. We're up in the movie theater room. Anyway, so there was a freaky magnet in my dog's mouth. She was chewing on a freaky magnet. Go to YouTube. We are on YouTube, but look up Freaky's commercials, Freaky's cereal commercials. You'll see all of the commercials. It's amazing. You can also look up all the Monster cereal commercials. They have collections of all the Count Chocula, Frankenberry, whatever. Anyway, they had you get in the cereal, you'd get a different magnet. There were a total of 6 magnets. Some of those magnets go for $49 on eBay, and she's chewing on one which apparently fell off the refrigerator, and then she's chewing on it. And it's valuable, but also I don't really want a magnet going through the digestive tract of my dog. I don't want her to eat a I don't know what happens if you chew and eat a magnet. So I picked her up and kind of spit that out. I kind of shook her a little bit, and she was going, "Arr!" And she actually kind of nipped at me a little bit, and then the figure seemed to be gone. I thought she swallowed it. I was like, oh shit, she swallowed it because she didn't want to let it go. And so I counted. I had 5 freaky magnets left. I had this little guy. I forget what their names are, right? A lot cooler than Pokemon will ever be. Sorry, those of you into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! These were astounding, and still are. Here's Underdog. He's not one of them, but I thought I'd show you Underdog. Oh, here's the head freaky. I think his name is Boss Moss or something. He was based on the head guy at the advertising agency that promoted Freakies. The whole advertising campaign was designed by this woman. I have an interview with her somewhere. There used to be a magazine in the 90s called Freaky Magnet. It was named after these magnets. There's this one, right? Here's this little guy. They look a lot like the old Topps ugly stickers that were painted by people like Wally Wood and Norman Saunders and Basil Wolverton, right? Right, so and this guy, all still on the refrigerator, but the one I saw her chewing was nowhere to be found. And then 2 nights ago, my wife's looking at the floor, and I guess it had landed with this end up, and the floor is dark and I couldn't see it, but she apparently had spit it out. And I don't really, this is the Christmas miracle, I don't see any damage to it. I looked up, there were none on eBay. I looked at completed sales, and they were pretty damn expensive. I don't really want to pay $20. I think I bought all of these together as a set. Oh, here's something from 2nd grade. I was so upset, I took all the magnets off the refrigerator. Like a little kid. I was like, God damn it, they get knocked off the refrigerator, the dog's eating my magnets. You know, my whole childhood, and plus when my wife cooks, they get greasy, the shit in the air, because our Vinahood has never been hooked up properly since the 70s. I think they did some remodeling, the previous owners. And so anyway, that's the Christmas miracle. I now still have a complete set of freaky magnets. So thought I'd let you know about that. Amazing, huh? Okay, so I've only shown you 2 comics, right? Or did I even show you the second one? I don't know. Did I show you this one? Yeah. Again, all of these are Whitman variants. I think they're reprints from the 60s. These are older stories. This comic was from about 1980. The producers of Godzilla vs. the Thing issue warning to those who cannot take its full horror. To you it does. I don't know if I can take the full horror. I don't know if I can take the full horror, not of Godzilla, but of Joe Biden's world. It's pretty damn horrible. I put on my Instagram yesterday, I'm praying for you, Donald Trump, and someone put underneath it, "You're kidding, right? I was just checking." And I said, "Nope." And then it really separated the men from the whatever. They yeah, I lost. Now I'm under 600 subscribers. A lot of people unsubscribed. Oh well, not a lot, but a few. Look, an authentic Star Wars t-shirt. Oh my gosh. So I put up another Donald Trump one today because I enjoy, it's not that I'm enjoying trolling, it's just I am a little, oh, I'm in so much pain. Anyway, I took a long shower, or a short shower, and so, anyway, so have you all gone and subscribed to Graphic Man and made sure that you rang the bell, clicked on the bell notification? I picked this up because I didn't have it. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing meets the Inhumans. Looks like a highly entertaining issue. So that's another part of the haul. Wasn't Deputy Dog amazing? I just keep thinking, I hear that music in my head. The music, someone should put out a soundtrack album of Deputy Dog's music. Strange things go through my mind. Oh, look, a Galactus value stamp in this issue of Fantastic Four 154. I'm not entirely sure if I own this, so I bought it, and maybe I own it, maybe I don't. Well, I was excited about the Peacemaker, the hero from Charlton, being in the Suicide Squad movie, and hearing that he's in a upcoming HBO series James Gunn's doing, and the actor is this famous wrestler named John Cena, and he's kind of this weird looking guy, but I thought, well, you know, he looks just enough like an ugly lug, like a Judge Dredd kind of weird guy with a weird jaw, kind of a mongoloid looking guy like what's his face that plays Groot, that idiot. Well, speaking of those two idiots, well, I guess there's a promotional campaign going on now for Fast and Furious number 15 or 16, and he was doing interviews, and I guess at one point he said, our film is going to play for the first time in the country of Taiwan. And they shit at the fan because China owns Hollywood. I mean, they make movies for China, and if China doesn't allow Fast and Furious to play because they're mad at John Cena, they'll lose millions, hundreds of millions, whatever, billion possibly. They could crank out of a shitty, stupid movie like that made for idiots. So, yeah, because China does not consider Taiwan to be an independent country, but a part of their country. So John Cena did the most embarrassing, cringy apology. He went on video and spoke in Mandarin and said, I did a bad thing. I spoke in an interview and I said a bad thing. I want you to forgive me. I love the people of China. I did a bad thing. I'm so sorry. And it's weird that he knows Mandarin. Maybe these wrestlers are smarter than you think, or he was coached on how to say those lines, but it shows you who's really running things, doesn't it? It was so embarrassing. You gotta watch John Cena. Just type in John Cena apology. This is the ad for the Planet of the Apes magazine. That, you know, I can't tell you how exciting that was. when I was a kid. Okay, so this is Fantastic Four 150. Again, I'm not entirely sure if I own it or not. This is right before I discovered how wonderful the Fantastic Four was. This came out September '74. So that means it was came out in July, midsummer of '74, right before my 4th grade year. And it was in the beginning of my 4th grade year that Marvel Treasury Edition #2 came out, and that's what awakened me and let me see how amazing Fantastic Four was. And so therefore I picked up earlier issues later. What will this be? It's a low-grade copy of Strange Suspense Stories presenting Captain Atom. It's a perfectly good reading copy. Look, Wubble Bubble. Tomorrow I'm going to do a special edition. I'm going to live stream. I'm going to Duncanville Books, and I'm just going to take the camera in and just film as I go through the comics. Oh, I think this is somewhat legendary. See, they didn't really have the rights to Tarzan. They did some Tarzan, Kazar. You say Tarzan and I say Tarzan. Oh well. So those were bootleg comics that Charlton put out, because Gold Key had the rights to Tarzan, and I guess some lawyer told him, oh, that's in public domain or something. But somebody put out a collection of these Charlton Tarzan comics. But yeah, they didn't have the rights to Tarzan. It was Gold Key did at the time, because this is a 1965 comic, and then DC got the rights about, what, 71, and then I guess about 77 Marvel got the rights. Oh, look at this ad, man. That's really a great one. Oh man, I love this. Hey kids, look! Monster photos. Wow. When they still had lots of government surplus, because World War II had ended 20 years before. This might be a long episode. Say, if you subscribe to Graphic Man, I'm telling you, when this episode uploads, I'm going to be watching to see how many people have viewed this, and there should be an equal number of new subscriptions to Graphic Man. He also has an amazing, he has another channel that's incredible too, that's like a very serious but humorous Bible study channel. It's tremendous. So you gotta subscribe. By the way, subscribe to Graphic Man. Yeah, Bad Tidings. This is Supervillain Team Up. It's number 11. Incredible. haven't had breakfast yet. I just discovered I was listening to Alex Jones while I was in the shower. He was interviewing this lady. I thought it was, her name is Savannah Hernandez, and I just subscribed to her YouTube channel. She seems to be amazing. Savannah Hernandez, look her up too. After you look up Graphic Man. Well, this has got a rolled spine and it's not in good shape, but I didn't think I had Thor 250. So I bought Thor 250. See, that scared me. I thought for a second there was a value stamp there and that someone cut it out, but no. I don't think. No, I don't. I think they'd stopped doing value stamps at this point. See, they're already about to change to 30 cents. We're about to go through that same shit again. Inflation, like I remember from the 70s, where you start the decade, comics are 15 cents, and when you end the decade, comics are $1. And they seem to go up like once every year and a half almost. I was looking at a notification. Oh, I'm getting a bad headache. It's Thor 245. God of Thunder versus the Servitor. So it's cool that we're looking at Thor comics since today is Thursday, or Thor's Day as it was originally called. Man, you know, I've never in real life seen this Cornelius decoration with movable joints. Have you? I've never seen these anyone that actually had these Marvel stickers. I might have seen the Spider-Man. How tall are these things? Life-size Cornelius? Oh, it says it's Galen. Well, same actor. You can't. It's indistinguishable. Yeah. It's an ad for Crazy. Yeah, man, I gotta look into that. Some of these Marvel value stamps were actually just puzzle pieces in the later days of the Marvel value stamps. Oh, look, put the Hulk under someone's Christmas tree. Since it's a special Christmas episode of the Grottorlock show, I thought I'd show you that. Okay, so Thor. Cool. What else do we have? Oh, it's another Thor comic. So, yeah, Silver Age Dave, I commented in his, where you put the comments underneath the video, and he said some really nice things about this channel. He said he's been enjoying my live streams. I guess where I go to the gas station and I don't know. I was watching that last video with my wife the other day, last night, because I had it playing and she heard me grumbling about my wife on the video because I came into the room and my channel had some woman from India doing a recipe and she was speaking in Indian, and I was like, how is this on my feed? My wife must have been looking up recipes and didn't switch over to her account. But I don't think that's the reason. I think it was just some weird fluke. But I was going, she's been looking. She says, what were you talking about me on the show? And so I showed her. And I showed her how I was racing to work. And I had the Batman music playing on the stereo, and she says, it's like Batman's going to a crime or something. This is 244. I don't know if I showed the cover. My short-term memory is shot. Oh, another Thor. What a surprise. There's a cartoonist named Milton Knight. Knight spelled K-N-I-G-H-T. He has a good YouTube channel with a lot of 1930s cartoons and stuff like that. He's a cartoonist that's done a lot of comic book work. He has a style that's very 1930s. He worked at Marvel for a while, and he said Marie Severin was really mean to him. And I didn't like hearing that because I worship Marie Severin. He said that she just thought his art was shitty and just would tell him. It's like, what is this? But he does this kind of cutesy Fleischer style art, and is really filled with a lot of appreciation and love for that time period, the early 20th century. So I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he's always posting cool old pinups and music and cartoons. And he just discovered a treasure trove of cartoons from the 30s, but they're from other countries like China or Japan or different European countries, and it's just interesting their take on Mickey Mouse and how they imitated it and put a different spin on it. Wyatt's Thor 231, which I wasn't sure if I had, but this is a good copy of it. Yeah, maybe this is what the government's going to reveal here about the man gods. You know, I don't think I have that issue of Marvel Preview featuring man gods from Beyond the Stars. I wonder if that ties into Marvel's continuity, or if it has anything to do with that Eternal shit. Because I don't think I own that magazine. Someone I'm sure will tell me down below. It looks interesting. I'm getting disoriented here. So, how are you doing? Thor 218, 20-cent issue. I love how he's spinning that hammer. I need to take that Play Guitar in 7 Days course. And definitely order these free damn eyes and peace signs and stuff. Oh, I love this ad, man. For Dracula Lives and Tales of the Zombie. What a wonderful time. That was when I was in 2nd grade. Wow, look at this shit. John Buscema. What a genius. People are saying I look like John Buscema, and that's definitely a compliment. Charlton 66, Eric Brain agreed with him, and my wife said, yeah, you do look a little like him. He's got a brother Sal Buscema that also worked at Marvel, and then his granddaughter Stephanie Buscema is a really cool cartoonist also. So that family's kind of a dynasty. You can look her up and look her art up. She's done some comic book covers. I don't think she's ever done interior art. She does children's books. She's one of those kind of gothy girls with the black hair and a tattoo or two. Here's Batman, Harley and Ivy #3. I don't have the first two, but it looks really great because unlike most of these Harley Quinn type comics, it's actually done by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. So it's actually like from the people that made Harley Quinn, made Batman the Animated Series, which is still a high watermark, along with Johnny Quest. For animation. So it looks like the comic. I mean the cartoon. No. That's not appropriate. Yeah, that commercial had a bad word in it, so I didn't want to play that. Like, probably get me in trouble. It's weird how she has green skin in this comic. Anyway, Harley and Ivy. I didn't have this issue of Power Man and Iron Fist. But I thought I ought to pick it up since I guess Moon Knight's heating up because all these speculating idiots are hearing it's going to be a TV show. But the TV show, you know, we haven't seen the TV show yet, so... Oh, I just saw something I'll show you. Yeah, see, it's a Moon Knight issue. But inside, it must have come from the $1 or 25-cent bin at Lone Star Comics. And it's got the stamp of Lone Star Comics here. But, oh well. At that time, they had 4 locations. East Abram and Grotuville, they were over. They had one in Irving, I remember that. They had one in Town East Mall and Mesquite, and then one in Dallas. I think they after a while they had more. They at one time I think they had 3 in Arlington. But I always shopped at the flagship one. That Power Man comic's got a fold in it. I'm seeing that now. Shit. This is Thor 256. There's good old Evel Knievel. I never had an Evel Knievel toy. Those toys magically stopped selling when Evel Knievel hit a reporter with a baseball bat multiple times. That kind of damaged his career slightly. I did have the $6 Million Man, though, and he had that engine block that he would lift, but I don't know where that engine block is. But the $6 Million Man is still standing proud there in the other room. Yeah, I got a lot of Thor comics. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Watch me have every single freaking one of them when I get the get into the boxes. Oh, I have 2 copies. I got both copies of, because they were cheap, of this UFO, this particular issue, because I like the cover so much. It's a UFO in outer space. This is about the Orson Welles scare. My father remembered hearing about it the next day at school, but he didn't listen to the radio that night. Probably doing something responsible. All of that was caused by an opera singer, because the Mercury Theater, each week they adapted a different classic literature story. One week they do Dracula, you know, or whatever. That was always the same actors. There was a troupe of actors led by Orson Welles, and they do a different book every week. And so not many people listened to their show, because the #1 show in America was on the other radio network, which was Charlie McCarthy and Edgar Bergen, which everyone always kind of laughs that you had a ventriloquist that was popular on the radio. How can you tell if he was moving his lips and all that? But anyway, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, you little puppet with the monocle, right? So, ooh, this is nice white pages. Look at how white that is. It's Marvel Presents Guardians of the Galaxy. The original Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway. So, the fuck? Oh. Well, everyone tuned in to Charlie McCarthy. Most people did. And the first... The guest on that episode was like an opera singer, someone that people didn't like. So people thought, well, I'll turn to the other channel until this damn opera music's over, and then I'll turn back and hear the rest of Charlie McCarthy. So they tuned to the other channel and missed the opening where they say the Mercury Theater is on the air, and then they set up that it was in the year blah blah blah, and at this time there were 80,000 people listening to the radio that night. And then it goes to a radio broadcast, because the whole idea was like, well, it'll be cool. We will show the Martian invasion through radio news coverage, and it'll sound just like all the radio news coverage people have been hearing for the last decade as Europe was invaded by the Germans, and they've been hearing all this war stuff, and they knew what it sounded like, and the sirens, and so people tuned to the other channel, and they heard this weird stuff about gas explosions on Mars, so people stayed listening to that, and they thought it was real, because they missed the opening, because people didn't flip back to Charlie McCarthy. They stayed there. But if they'd flip back, like a Martian invasion, wouldn't it be covered on all the channels? When 9/11 happened, I let the kids in my classroom know how serious it was. I had a radio, and I turned to every single channel, and it was all coverage, even on their pop music, rap channels. Every FM channel there was no music on the air, and they went, oh, because they didn't have any idea. There was a really tough girl in the class. She was, like driving a truck by the time she was 14. She was kind of high up in the local neighborhood gang. She was a tough chick, right? So, big girl, and she says, well, why do these people hate us so much to do that to us? And I said, well, to a certain degree, it's because we're friends with Israel. And she says, well, who's he? And I thought, she just thought Israel was some tough guy. It's like, because the only Israels she'd ever heard of were like guys in the neighborhood. And I said, no, Israel's a country, not a person. And she thought he was like some gang leader, It's like, well, they're friends with that guy. We better strike and knock their buildings down. Like, it's funny, but it's not so funny. It's like, because, you know, how are kids gonna know unless, you know, I learned a lot of stuff from my parents, but if no one ever teaches you anything in school or at home, then you don't know anything about the world, or the world farther than 2 blocks from your house. Oh well. Well, this will be the, say, this is the 20th anniversary coming up. What's that fucking noise? I've got 2 different things playing. I've got the movie theater going, and I got the stereo console. But it sounded like a helicopter was flying outside their house. Maybe they're listening to what I'm saying. This has got I wouldn't have ever bought a comic like this when I was a kid. That's not a spine roll. That's just the way it was printed. The cover's a little off center. I would never have bought that when I was a kid. I always made sure the spine was in line. But speaking of terrorists, it's weird how things always just seem to happen like that. And yeah, Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. See, it's proving me wrong. I keep saying I don't like these modern comics where they have a page of art and an ad. I liked it when they had 2 pages of art and then 2 pages of ads, and then I immediately proved myself wrong because the old 70s comics were that way. I don't know. I just remember. I don't remember it that way. I remember 2 pages of art. I guess I'm wrong. He doesn't like guns. Why? I would have just dressed him just like that in the TV show. Always wearing the yellow shirt, the chains. I would have done it. And I think people would have liked it just fine. Some people wear uniforms, like the neighbor, the idiot that likes Biden, that put the flag out after Biden was elected, and then took it down like a day or so later. That guy, the next door neighbor, he's like Gilligan. I've never seen him wear anything but a white t-shirt without sleeves and a pair of shorts. He's always out working in the garden. He always dresses exactly the same, just like Gilligan and the Skipper. He probably has a closet with like 100 white t-shirts with no sleeves. I picked up this Walt Disney Uncle Scrooge because I love Uncle Scrooge. Oh, look at this. My wife's a big fan of Pink Panther when I was showing you the Star Wars shit. You ever see anyone with these flippets? I guess you toss them and they land. But they got a Frankenstein one.
Music for people who are very, very fat. Radio Grotto 106.9 FM.
Oh, look at these damn records you could buy. These are children's records. Probably most of them are on YouTube. There's a guy named Boy John. It's just one word, B-O-Y-J-O-H-N, and he's got tons of old 50s, 60s, 70s children's records. And there's other people too that have these, you know, the old golden records. See, there's one of Bugs Bunny. Well, this is cool because it gives me a checklist of records to look for on YouTube, and it's got a Thor ad in it. Sounds like a porno movie. I think that is from an actual exploitation movie that probably was not too far from that. Oh, this is in really shitty shape, but it didn't cost hardly anything. Popeye the Sailor. But oh, I thought that was Sweepy for a second, but then I said, why does Sweepy look so brain damaged with the teeth sticking out? But that's an adult. The Adventures of Grit Boy. Oh yeah, this is that song. My wife really likes it. It's by a band from a garage band from the '60s. The band is called the Holocaust, and that's, I was talking about that the other day. The word Holocaust didn't come to mean the horrible things that happened in World War II until I think about 1980, when there was a TV miniseries called Holocaust. That's my theory, at least. Here's Weird War number 99. This was a favorite of Johnny Ramone, and all of the members of the Ramones agreed that Weird War was the best comic book. And that comes from my friend that, I think I read it in an interview, but my friend actually made a video for the Ramones. My friend that passed away, it was the video for their cover of the Who song Substitute. My friend directed that, so he knew the Ramones and could confirm things like that. It's got Steve Ditko art in it, in this issue of Weird War. Man's enemy, man's best friend, crossed out, and that's enemy. Low grade Flash 227. I just love this cover. Flash, this is your death. Flash was always getting fucked up on the covers of his comic books. He's usually dead or being killed or looking at himself being dead. There was they like to do these death covers. Oh, there's Howard Rogowski. He's the other guy. There was Robert Bell, right? And then there was Howard Rogowski, that was a comic book dealer. I've seen an interview with him in Comics Journal. And they confronted him because Howard Rogowski said that tape is not considered tape being on a comic is not considered a defect. He did not consider that to be a defect. So he was famous for that, and he kind of was real sheepish about that when they confronted him in the interview. I am fucking starving. Oh, I've always loved this ad. It's like it says, good night, Ted. The dance was fun. Let's push this little guy around. And then he just like destroys everybody, like in that movie Kingsman, right? Gee, honey, Kung Fu is wonderful. Gee, honey, Kung Fu is wonderful to know. Yes, and it's easy to learn fast. I'll give you the secret power of Chinese Kung Fu, the deadly Oriental fighting art that requires no strength or close body contact. Yes, the Flash. Here's a low grade. If I'm using the terminology, I'm going to sound like one of these fancy people like E.T.A. Nixon. E.T.A. Nick he looks at every corner. So I think this is a 9.8. So you can see there's no spine ticks. The corners are in very good shape. I'm kidding. This is an Atlas Comics Savage Combat Tales featuring Sergeant Stryker's Death Squad. So it's a bootleg Sergeant Rock, Sergeant Fury, basically. But the covers were always very striking on these Atlas Comics. They were, and the ads were so cool. Planet of the Apes, Flintstones, Monsters, superhero model kits, Star Trek stuff. It's like they knew everything I was into. And I thought, I'm getting in on the ground floor of a new comic book company. It's like I'm there. Fantastic Four #1's coming out. It's 1961, and I'm there. A new company, and I missed it the first time because I was born in '65. But it turned out not to be, because these comic books only lasted 3 or 4 issues, and then the whole company went kaput. The whole company was created to spite Marvel. To destroy Marvel is really what they were trying to do. And it was really, you know, kind of weird. They hired all these artists. They got all... See, the editor is Larry Lieber, who is Stan Lee's brother. Stan Lee's real name is Stanley Lieber. I wonder if that ever came up at Thanksgiving dinner. Hey, remember when you were editor of a comic line to destroy me? Because the guy that was the president of Marvel Comics wanted his son to follow and be his successor, and instead Marvel put in, I think, Stan Lee and shut out his son. And then he says, well, fuck them, I'll start my own comic company and I'll hire all these artists and I'll let them, I guess, keep their art instead, and then they'll work for, and I'll pay them more money, and then we'll have all these great artists, they'll all flock to us. And oh well, things didn't pan out. But oh well. I think the artists were able to, the creators were able to keep the rights to their characters, and then one character, Demon Hunter, was able to go over to Marvel with a slight name change. Let's see, this comic's already fucking damaged in the bag. So a lot of these comics that have been at the store for a lot of years. It's a reading copy. It's an Unknown Soldier. I wanted to read it because I like the Unknown Soldier. And it's very valuable because it's a newsstand edition. Oh, I thought that was a fold for a second. Luckily it isn't. I like Scalp Hunter and I like Jonah Hex. And now I realize I only have 1 or 2 issues of Hex. I never read them. The sequel to Jonah Hex. I need to buy that whole run, because I remember it was coming out, and this friend of mine, I have some art by these guys, the Hancock brothers, Charles Hancock. I bought some art from him, and he was a good friend of mine, and his artwork is insane and cool. And I remember him saying, my favorite comic book is Hex. And I thought, but now I realize, wow, you know, Hex really is a cool concept. A spaghetti western in the future, and it's written by Michael Fleischer, who wrote the original comics. I don't know why at the time I didn't. I guess I thought, I don't know what I thought, but now I'm excited about it. Yeah, Hex. I think it's pretty affordable. I think there were only 18 issues. I have a few. I think I have issue 1. Yeah, Hex. Don't move easy, you're getting killed, won't help me. It's Sergeant Rock number 351. Again, sea monkeys. I just imagine a world somewhere, maybe in heaven, sea monkeys really look like that, and can be your little friends, and maybe you can have conversations with them. Maybe you can learn their language, and they could have little 50s ranch houses underwater in your big aquarium. I wonder if, I wonder if, because heaven, they it says that you'll have a big mansion made of gold and everything, but I've always wondered, is there going to be, I don't want to be disrespectful, I'm not trying to be blasphemous, but I wonder, are there comic books in heaven? Or is there this kind of music in heaven? I'm seriously not trying to be disrespectful, but one thing because I really am curious, but one thing I've heard are disagreements about whether pets go to heaven, and my a friend of mine that I used to work with, she had a heart attack, and she said her dog jumped up on her dog that had passed away, like immediately her dog was jumping up on her, and so I thought, oh, that's great, someone that's had a post-death, afterlife, whatever you call those, out-of-body, whatever they call those experiences, is confirmed that, because that's important. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is when the Aurora Monster kits were bought up by Monogram. They put a full-page ad in comics trying to sell them. That's pretty wild. I don't remember that. This is Sergeant Rock 379. I'm looking to see when this was. August 1983. Okay, so that means this came out in July of '83. I just graduated high school like a month before when this was on the stands, and the Aurora Monsters are still worthy of a full-page ad in a comic book. That's fascinating. Cool. It's another copy of The Unknown Soldier, number 250. No, I'm not going to take you to the gas station today. Holy shit. Look at this. Horrible stuff happening. This is a great comic. Well, this is going to be fun to read. Are you too short? Now you can add 2 to 4 inches in 10 weeks or less. My method shows you how to do it, or your money refunded immediately. Look at this guy that's gotten taller. Look, you'd be like him. I wonder what that scam was. Give you some elevator shoes. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I know you have a lot of important things to do, like subscribe to Graphic Man. I swear, if I have 150 views today, there should be at least 150 subscribers. And I know some of you have already done it because he's got 59 subscribers. But I dare you. You're a sissy if you don't subscribe to Graphic Man. Nanny nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. I dare you to subscribe to Graphic Man. You're not man enough or woman enough to subscribe to Graphic Man. You'd better do it today. And by the way, bubble up. Drink it by the half quart. It's pure pleasure. It's our sponsor here, along with Fang, breakfast drink for vampires. I forgot to mention them. Here's another copy of Unknown Soldier 245, just a reading copy. But you just don't see these war comics in the wild much, at least I don't. Now tomorrow I'll go to Duncanville Books, and there'll be tons of them, because Duncanville Books is the ultimate. It's Golden Age comics in the $2 bin ultimate. Of course, they're not going to be in good condition, but they're readable, and they're $2 for something that's older than your, something. I was going to say older than your grandparents, but that's not the case unless you're a millennial. Okay, well, here's the Saturday morning lineup. Let's see what was worth watching on CBS. Oh, I like the Tarzan Lone Ranger show, actually. But the Lone Ranger cartoon from about 1966, that was crazy. It had all kinds of monsters, and it was insane. What is this fucking ad? I don't remember this ad. What's it advertised? Oh, it's a fucking video. It's a fucking little TSR game. I see that stupid little wizard there. No wonder it's drawn so terribly, like all that Dungeons and Dragons crap. Okay, this is almost like half a point on that stupid CGC grading scale, 1 to 10. This is maybe just half a point from me saying, nah, this just isn't good enough condition to buy. But I just didn't want to leave it behind because I don't have this comic and I wanted to read it. But it's not in good shape. I acknowledge that. It's issue 212 of Batman. Shot, poisoned, and electrocuted. Who could have done this, Batman? Hillary Clinton, Commissioner. Yeah, that's Jeffrey Epstein there. The soldiers were this big and they were flat. They were, at least, well, the only one I've seen, and I've seen them like Silver Age Dave as flat soldiers. The one that my brother ordered was the Civil War set, and he got this little plastic rolling. It was it was like about the size of this, and it was the battlefield, right? And there were these little bridges about this big with a rubber band that would make them break into two. And the Civil War soldiers were about that big, and that was the battlefield. He ordered that Civil War set, my brother Michael. So that's my only experience with that. Here's the add to my Christmas comic selection, since it's almost Christmas. That's why I have my Christmas tree up. I don't know. Maybe this is a terrible comic. It's Ant-Man's Big Christmas. I'd never even heard of it before. I decided I get it. It's Marvel Knights, which means it's probably filled with profanity and people getting their teeth torn out and nudity. Because Marvel Knights, I think that's what they did. I don't know. I could be wrong. When does the Loki show start? Is that next week? We were using the Disney Plus from my wife's family, and I think they were about to cancel it, which means we're probably going to have to get it, because I want to watch Loki. This has got some water damage, man. I was just looking, trying to figure out if that was Bruce Jenner or Kylie Jenner or whatever, but then I saw this water damage. It's like, shit. But I didn't pay hardly anything for it. It's a Charlton Billy the Kid. 141. I mean, you just don't see these things ever. Because the people that bought Western comics and romance comics and certain were not typical comic collectors. And then comic book stores used to just chunk this shit in the trash. They didn't take it seriously because it wasn't X-Men or whatever. And there's like, but this morning Silver Age Dave was showing all these comics, and then he's like, here's Melvin the Monster, and he didn't even like show it. And I'm thinking that's the coolest comic, because I love Melvin the Monster, but you know, it's just a matter of taste, you know. Here's a bunch of Nazi stuff you could get through the back of Charlton. There was supposed to be a documentary. There's a trailer, I think maybe it's still on YouTube. I remember 10, 12 years ago, someone was making a movie about Charlton Comics. And then when I first saw Charlton 66 posting, I thought maybe he was the guy that was making the Charlton documentary. I don't know if it ever got made or if it was just something someone was wanting to do and they made a... But I always heard, I don't know a lot about the history of Charlton. I've heard rumors that it was run by mobsters and stuff, and I just know it. They printed these comics on the crummiest paper in the world. They're almost like pulps. It's just not quite that bad, but oh man, let's get some better music. Here's Fighting Army 151. Now these aren't real vintage. First of all, it's got the shitty UPC code. They're from about 1980, I think. April 81, this one. This is issue 151. To me, a good Charlton comic is 60s or early 70s. But I'm not going to pass these up. Yeah, they're fun. They're great. But even when I was a kid, I knew that Charlton was a vastly inferior alternative to the big companies. Yeah. My brother was one of these idiots. He could touch a comic book and or a magazine and the ink would rub off because he was like the Fly. He had some kind of acid in his thumbs that would just obliterate. It's like, you gotta be a sweaty, half-human person for the ink on a magazine or comic book to come off. You remember those kids in elementary school that would pick their nose and eat their boogers? Those kids had comic books too, and sometimes you're picking up a comic and you think, oh man, this comic was probably owned by that guy I remember from elementary school that picked his nose and ate his own boogers, because this comic feels grubby. I just want to wash my hands after I feel it. Reproduction's so bad. Here's an ad for jackets for Battlestar Galactica, but their faces are completely washed out. That's not my camera. You can't even see her face. That same painting ran on the back of Warren magazines. But this is actually pretty white pages for a Charlton comic, because usually any heat at all on a Charlton comic and it starts to turn brown like leaves. I never knew what all these codes meant on Charlton Comics. I thought maybe they were like communications from one mob boss to another or something. Yeah, a box turned up with all these Charlton Comics, and the only person within probably the 3-city metroplex that would want these. Probably me. I know there are people out there in the viewer, the audience that's watching this that like them, but too skinny? Yeah, you don't see ads like, you're too skinny, put on weight anymore. There's more buy the Nazi memorabilia. But if you're buying Fighting Army, yeah, you might be a good audience for. But I wonder if those same ads ran in the Millie the Lovable Monster Charlton comic. No, that was a Dell comic, wasn't it? But you know, like you get a romance comic from Charlton. Would it have had that ad for the German helmet? I wonder. I'd have to see. Oh, we're getting towards the end, man. But maybe I've got some other stuff to entertain you, because I know you don't want to like go back to YouTube and watch things about how horrible our country is falling apart. God damn, have I mentioned I'm hungry? Excuse me, I don't mean to take the Lord's name in vain. Here's the many ghosts of Dr. Graves. This has just been sitting there, and I decided, why is that sitting there? Why have I not ever gotten that? I might get chased off by the UPC code. That's usually a sign that it's past its prime. I'm with stupid, and then there's stupid back behind her. If my wife's not awake, the Hellfire Club, when I finish this episode, I'm gonna run over and buy some food. She couldn't sleep last night. She fell asleep right about the time I was waking up. So there's no telling when she's gonna get up. I get paid tonight at midnight, which is one reason I'm gonna head over to Duncanville Books. I'm a little apprehensive because the sun came out yesterday and it was out today. Trust me, I got a little bit of my face is a little red from it. But tomorrow it's supposed to be back raining, and I see rain forecast for the next week. Because as I've been telling you, Gratuiteville has become the new Seattle. Fighting Marines. 149. Sometimes I have a big mouth. I was asking the air conditioner repairman last night. I said, do you believe that there's people that can control the weather? And he says, nah. But I kind of presented, you ever hear the conspiracy theory that people can control the weather? And he didn't think that was true. He was a real nice old redneck. He said, before I start on the air conditioner, I gotta get some sanity. And he pulled out his little tin and his chewing tobacco tin. I remember in high school, there were certain kids that always, they had blue jeans, and in the back of their back pocket there was always a ring, because they carried a can of Skoal around. And those are the guys that all played baseball. They were always on the baseball team, and they were also Future Farmers of America. They had these jackets that said FFA. Not Future Fat Asses, Future Farmers of America. Automatic Mind Command. How to make others secretly do your bidding with the astonishing power of Automatic Mind Command. And there's all this tiny lettering. Did anyone ever really read this ad? Here's how to get started in just 3 minutes. Damn, that's small. Dear friend, new power is about to leap into your life. That's insanely small. Seriously. Look how small that is. I mean, is there something I can give you of scale? To give you scale. No. Who cares? Alright, more comic books. And so, I'm gonna go hit a Half Price Books I've never been to tomorrow, and Duncanville Books if possible. And then I'm gonna get some stuff for Graphic Man, who you need to subscribe to, because he sent me some money to pick some stuff up for him. And then I gotta get that stuff mailed out maybe Monday, and I've got some stuff for Captain Strangeliffe I need to send him, so I gotta send that off too. And I need to order some sea monkeys. This is Walt Disney Donald Duck. See these scissors? They made a Wonder Woman one, and people laugh about it because you see, what happens with these scissors is when you use the scissors, the legs spread wide apart, and so perverted comics fans have been laughing at those Wonder Woman scissors for years. The Battle at Hadrian's Wall. Wyatt's Attack, number 21. It's I remember when these magazines were on every newsstand. These Find Awards. Teachers would always give them to us when I was in elementary school to keep us quiet. It was just busy work. It's like, here, you know, look for these words in this jumble of letters. And some kids loved it, and I just found it annoying. I guess you learn how to spell through it without really realizing you're learning how to spell. I guess in that theory it works. One time the superintendent of the school district came in and was walking through teachers' classrooms and said, and they saw one of those word searches some kid was doing in some teacher's class, and they said to their underlings, like, I heard that they said that she said this, that it's like, will I ever visit a school and not see a kid doing one of these? I mean, because I don't know if teachers still do that, the word searches. Now you can make your own word searches with computers. This is Ren and Stimpy. It's Ren and Stimpy number 9. It appears to be autographed by somebody. You idiot! I assume that's the artist. Yeah, okay. It's got an M. The artist is Ken Mitchroney, artist. So there's an autograph of Ken Mitchroney. Ren and Stimpy, I remember enjoying the cartoon, and John Kricfalusi created it. He was taking a long time creating episodes, and so Nickelodeon just like somehow just stole it away from him and said, we'll make our own, we own it, and shut him out of his own creation. And he was already nuts, and it drove him nuttier. Eventually, I guess it stopped its run on Nickelodeon, and somehow John Kricfalusi got the rights to do Ren and Stimpy, his creation, back. So he immediately put out a DVD of Ren and Stimpy. Basically, they were gay, and they were in showers soaping up nude women and groping each other, and basically he basically put out a perverted, dirty version of Ren and Stimpy to totally destroy the franchise, so that all the Nickelodeon cartoons could never really be used again. because I guess they own those cartoons, but he had the rights to do new ones, I guess. So he just completely shut the door on Ren and Stimpy, and that was what I remember. It was something. Yeah, these things are like 50 cents. I mean, they were 50 cents, or in this case 35 cents when they came out. And I see them in the 50-cent bin, and I pick them up because they're interesting snapshots of the time period, and I like the Himbeck cartoons, and I just think it's interesting. I think that, will they ever have any value? I don't know, maybe, I doubt it. But I start to realize that you know, maybe they could. Who knows what can become valuable? But I just think they're kind of neat. So I don't buy as an investment. I buy because I like things. Oh. It's Flash Gordon, the Gold Key Flash Gordon. He's still drawn to look a little bit like Steve Holland there. Steve Holland was the guy that posed for all those Doc Savage covers. Fuck. Yeah, and I thought someone had drawn on Flash Gordon's face, but then I realized he must have some disease. Everybody seems to have that. Steve Holland posed for the covers for the Avenger paperbacks too. The Avenger, the pulp hero, the Avenger. But earlier in the 50s, on a TV show that I think was filmed in Germany, he was Flash Gordon on a black and white 50s TV show. So Flash Gordon was Doc Savage for a while, and he was good. But the really great Flash Gordon was Buster Crabbe, because he looked like he was drawn by Alex Raymond. He was an Olympic athlete. He was a swimmer, and he was just perfect as a superhero. He played so many superheroes: Tarzan, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, Jungle Jim. I'm leaving some out. I can't think of any other person that's played so many superheroes, with the exception of what's his name, the guy that married Jennifer Lopez, because that guy played Batman, he played Daredevil, he played Superman indirectly in a movie about George Reeves, and something, didn't he play something else too? I don't know. Scary Tales. Yeah, this is probably owned by the same idiot with the thumb that rubs the ink off. He probably ate his boogers, the motherfucker. Steve Ditko art. Sometimes you look at this, it's an evil Peter Parker, man. Look at Peter Parker, he's evil. Yeah, he's all through this. Peter Parker, evil Peter Parker. Look at Peter Parker there looking at himself in the mirror. Oh, that's cool. Look at the host. What's wrong with us? This is the only distraction from Joe Biden's world. We're looking at cartoon witches in an old comic, panning up and down. Well, we're 56-year-old man. Insanity. It's insanity, man. I'm telling you, it's insanity. Yes, insanity. That looks like my childhood television in the other room. Scorpio curse. Daisy and Donald. Look at that fucked up wallpaper. She looks like she likes it. I don't understand. What's the joke here? I mean, he's putting up wallpaper, and she's coming in. Is she supposed to be shocked and horrified? Because that would make sense. But it looks like, oh, this is wonderful. I don't know what the artist's intent was. But inside, it's nice 1950s reprints. Even though I don't have any clue what the damn cover is trying to say. Daisy Duck, does she not wear... She doesn't wear gloves? Look, she's not wearing gloves. It's kind of like the mask that we wear. They pointed, Harvey Kurtzman did a great play on this in the Mad comic book. There was a cow being arrested in the opening panel because she went out in public without gloves, and all Disney characters have to have gloves. And it's true. Horses, cows, dogs all wear gloves. And then Harvey Kurtzman pointed out, with Pluto, why is Pluto a dog but can't talk? But Goofy is also a dog and has a house and a car and speaks and walks on two legs. And Pluto had signs like unfair. And Harvey Kurtzman really thought deeply about that stuff. Yeah, but see, they're all out in public without gloves. Yes, there's a convenience store right here. I've been going to for years. And well, nobody wears a mask in there now. And it's like I go in because I always put on the mask because I don't want to offend someone and have someone go, "You are one of them." So I just put on a mask just so I don't have to make any waves. And it's like, and then I go in there and nobody ever has masks on. Actually, the older, it's the Vietnamese couple. The woman never wears the mask now. I think the older guy wears it, but none of the customers do. And it's like, so I go in there and I'm getting some soda pop out of the refrigerator, and then I just kind of take the mask off and put it in my pocket. And then yesterday was the first time in well over a year that I walked into a business establishment without it on my face. I just walked. It was like, this was a historic moment. And then no one had it on, and it was just like it used to be. It was just an important moment. Oh, what is this here? Oh, cool. Here's a DC comic I got. Again, it's not in good shape, but it's I can use reading copies. And again, the wonderful ad for the Land of the Giants snake kit. But it's the Atom number 39, or actually at this point it was the Atom and Hawkman 39. That's cool that there was a spaceman version of that scam with rocket ships and stuff. Lots of these scams, Revolutionary War. This music is appropriate for the time period. Actually, it's still 12 cent. That's the Archie's cartoon that Sugar Sugar came from. If you watch the Archie's cartoon, when they're singing Sugar Sugar, the song that was the #1 song of 1969, and they say, "You are my candy girl." The song is about Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't think many people know that. Look up Sugar Sugar on YouTube. Watch the original video from the cartoon. It's about, they're singing about and to Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I sure would have used that on the Sabrina show on Netflix. I would have I had one of these, I think I had 2 of these robots. I don't remember which ones I have. They're like real expensive now. This is a good song, but it's too loud, and I can't control the volume from here, so I'm gonna skip it. Anyway, Zeroids. They were cool robots from about 1969, 1970. There you can get your tank for $7. The $6.98. That was pretty damn expensive. Where's my magnifying glass? November 68, October, November 68, which means this is really August of 68. So I was about 3 years old when this came out. We're at 1 hour 47 minutes. There's that 47 number again. I happened to look at the clock and 47. Have you guys noticed any 47s since the episode when I told you to look for the number 47 in pop culture? Yeah, this was the weird thing about Charlton. Sometimes the pages would not fit. It's like there's the cover and then the pages. That's something that you saw in pulps. The pages were, a lot of times they weren't flush, they weren't trimmed right. It's very, Charlton was all famous luck key for good luck. How much did you have to pay to get a key sent to you in the mail? $3. It's probably plastic. It's a pretty good scam. I hope that's not copywritten music. God damn it. Anyway, Battlefield Action number 70. I'm not sure if I even showed you the cover. Chicken. By the way, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Graphic Man, because I may do a live stream later in the afternoon, and if you do, then you'll get a notification if you ring his bell. You can ring my bell, ring my bell. Remember that disco song? You can ring my bell. Now, you can, yeah, you're always gaining pounds. Now you're losing pounds. Automatic mind control. Not command. Command control, same thing. This fucking idiot's looking at the bones in his own hand. They probably send you a tab of LSD when you order, so you can The Lonely War of Captain Willie Schultz. Battlefield Action number 68. I hope there are people other than Charlton66 that are fascinated with looking at all these Charlton comics. Okay, this is actually the last comic of the haul, but I've got some other things I was going to show you. This is Fightin' Army number 153, Soldier of the Third Reich. Super gifts and gimmicks. Oh, this very well could be copywritten. How about that? What is this here? Marvel free previews. Fantastic Four 65. 35. 60 years. 60 years and they're only on issue 35? What is this fucking thing? I guess they're gonna print Warlock in a book form and New Mutants. Amazing Fantasy. This was in a box that said free, so I picked it up. I guess these are previews of what's coming. John Romita Jr. is back at Marvel. Oh, say it isn't so. I like John Romita. Wish he was back at Marvel, but I don't know. Maybe John Romita Jr. is just wonderful and I don't appreciate it. I don't know who this character Silk is. I looked New Comic Day. The only things that kind of struck my... I noticed the paintings on the cover of this comic, Silk, being somewhat well done. And then I saw... What was the other thing? Not enough that I would buy that. I don't even know what Silk is. There was another comic that had good... what was it? I just saw it. It was, I don't care about Miles Morales. I just, to me, it's Peter Parker. Oh yeah, these Spider-Woman covers were pretty well done. They're just, it's girly art. I saw a couple of Spider-Woman covers, and I don't know who that artist is. I'm sure the interior art is shitty. They trick you with the art on the cover. And I think there's a TV show about this Captain Marvel or something. I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, they're going back and doing the Defenders with Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange, huh? I don't know who this guy is here. I think this Black Panther was the hot seller on Wednesday. That more of that's the comics sold than the other ones. And this other thing, I thought it was a different magazine, but it's the same magazine. It just, I picked up what I thought were two magazines. No, I'm sorry. I thought I picked up two magazines, but instead I got two copies of the same thing. I wonder if these will ever be worth, like in 60 years, will those be worth? I won't be here in 60 years, wasn't there? But I'll look at my 1984 appointment book. This is actually, this was my mother's. Weird. she puts down when she vacuums certain rooms. Clean downstairs toilet. Wash underwear. Went to Pizza Inn and brought Ken lunch. Chuck and I ate it. Bonanza. I brought Ken home. Yeah. Anyway, found this. Isn't that fascinating? Ugh. Have I shown you this? Rebirth of the Old Religion. It's actually a fake book that opens up and you can stash things in it. It's like I do with all those cigar boxes. I stash things in them. There's like a Swamp Thing I think this came with a Swamp Thing action figure. Here's the guest check from Sambo's Restaurant from October 11th, 1979 for $5.15. Betty Crocker recipes. Gulf's Tri-State Weekend Trip Guide. This is back before computers tells you all the information. Little ads for Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Old Salem. I must have gotten that when I lived in Virginia in 2nd grade. Anyway, there's little treasures in here. Like here's a barf bag for Mark of the Devil. This vomit bag and the price of one admission will enable you to see the first film rated V for violence. Mark of the Devil, guaranteed to upset your stomach. Positively the most horrifying film ever made. See it soon at a theater near you. So, you need this barf bag. That was a pretty sick movie. It's all about torture. Here's tickets from the Galaxy Drive-In Theater. What is this? Oh, Christmas cards. Here's Poison Ivy of the band The Cramps. Oh, it's a picture of my mother. This is my mother. With all my love, Dolores. This is the original picture. And then there's all kinds of other things in here. Oh. Here's some tickets for Braniff. I don't ever throw anything away, I guess. Braniff International, 1980, May 22nd, 1985, and here's June 29th, 83. Amazing, huh? Here's all kinds of stuff. It's not really a book on witchcraft. I am not into that stuff. It just looks cool on a bookshelf and scares guests. Oh, he must be a warlock. I better tread lightly. I'll put the book over there. I made this color copy. I had it on the refrigerator hung up by magnets, but I had to take the magnets down. I flipped out thinking and it's all greasy from being in the kitchen. Disgusting. Yeah, I was talking to Graphic Man a few days ago on the phone about Uncle Scrooge, and then the first bookshelf I looked at, I saw this Uncle Scrooge book. And then the other day I was showing you a comic. I think it was the same cover on the comic, but it's just great. It's all stories about Magica Dispel, who I really think was based on Vampira. That's just my theory. And I keep telling you about this book I got. Last 2 episodes I keep talking about this book, The Making of King Kong. It was so great. Well, that was right on the shelf next to Uncle Scrooge, so I wanted to show you this cool book in case you ever see it in a used bookstore. And this is I paid oh, that can't be. Has the world changed that much? Holy shit, it was $3.95. You can't even buy a comic book today for $3.95. The Making of King Kong. And it's just a wonderful history of the movie. And so I highly recommend this book. Making of King Kong. Yes, indeed. Well, I don't know what to tell you, except have you subscribed to Graphic Noon yet? Let me. I just saw that my wife commented on somebody's Facebook. I think my Facebook page. That means she's awake, which means that now I can eat lunch or breakfast. Breakfast and lunch would be brunch, or maybe it's dinner time now, in which case it would be breakfast, Brenner. Well, there's lunch, so maybe Bruner. This will be Bruner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one meal is Bruner. Shit. Things keep falling around here in Grotuville. This is how many backing boards I pulled out of those comics. So that's how many comics were in this haul. Did you realize you looked at that many comics? Oh, look, that's great when I get the halo effect like that. That's cool. Okay. Hold on a second. I gotta pick up this trash. Let's turn off the projector. And let's turn off the stereo. Oh, yeah, I am hurting for certain after mowing that lawn. I already have all these issues underneath my rib cage, like from. I feel like I've been doing like 50 million sit-ups. So all this. Maybe I need to oil those hinges. So I guess that's the haul, and I'll give I'll upload this, give you guys a chance to subscribe to Graphic Man. And then maybe Graphic Man and I can do a test live stream. But we're definitely going to do one on Monday. Hopefully later today too. But anyway, subscribe to Graphic Man. Be seeing you.